Okay, great.
Okay.
Um, so today Eva's going to talk about uh, memory, and her instructions to me were to tell you that she's going to cover it in two modes, two different ways. And one is she wants to talk about memory universally as it occurs in the universe, I guess, in the real reality. And then she also wants to talk about how, as humans, memory works with us physically, and how what we do with it and what the ramifications are for us. I don't know, since we don't have a whole lot of people here today, it might go quicker than I had and first anticipated. But initially, with the list that she gave me, I thought, well, this is going to be two or three different sessions, but maybe not. So I had tried to do this on my own without an audience or whatever. It didn't work, but I'm hoping it will work today. So, shall we give it a shot and see what happens? Okay. All right. Let me see if I can get her. Yes. We will begin by saying to you that memory is creation. When you remember, and we put that word in quotes, because as you know, time is simultaneous. It is not durational. So when you are speaking of memory, you generally are speaking to each other or to yourself in terms of duration, past, present, future, etc. And this is a fallacy. However, it is how it works in your day to day life and your day to day experience of physical reality. However, memory is not, in the great scheme of things, within all that is not durational. It is creation. Just as you create your body from moment to moment, so do you create your memories. Memory stretches out in all directions. So it is possible, you see, in terms of the way you tend to view memory, it is possible to remember events that have not yet happened to you. They have happened, but to your mind, they have not happened. They are in the future. So you can have memories of the past, of the present, of the future, and these will change. You can also have memories that are related to other lives, not just past lives or reincarnational lives, but to all of the lives that are part of your being. Yes, your alternate lives, I guess, would be one way to say it. So, just as your body itself is not merely one self that is mm, contained from birth to transition. Rather, there are many of you, and you are changing consistently, second by second, nanosecond by nanosecond. In reality, you are constantly changing. So is true of memory. You will also find that when you share memories with others, let us go into the physicality of it for a moment, you will find memories differ. And lawyers or people in the court system will say, well, if we have five witnesses to an event, we will have five different explanations for it, five different memories. And this is true. And if they were to wait an hour, a week, a month, a year, those memories would also be different because the memories will change according to how you are creating them, why you are creating them, what purpose are they serving you. So we wish to make that clear that even though we will speak to you of memory as durational, it is not. It is simply the way that we can best explain to you the questions, answer the questions you have. Now, the first thing we would like to talk about is instinct. Yes, in animals, people will say, "Oh, well, this animal does this, that, or the other through instinct." Meaning that it does not have memory of the events. It is simply pre-programmed to act a certain way. And this also is sometimes related or talked about as regards newborns, that they have certain reflexes that they are not taught, but they have at birth. And so it could be considered an instinct. Instinct is memory. It is memory. It is drawing upon all of the experiences of all of its selves. And therefore, it can be considered a memory, not something separate from itself, not an instinct as in some outside force acting upon the animal or the infant or whatever. It is indeed a memory. So that is also possible and is occasionally seen in human beings. You have, for example, what you call child prodigies, yes? Who, how does this 5-year-old manage to play the piano as if he were Mozart? How does this young child, or perhaps an autistic child, manage to do math at the level of scientist or a genius? Well, they do it through memory. You see, they are tapping into years, centuries, innumerable personalities, and they are taking those memories and they are congealing them, if you will. They are meshing them together, and therefore they do not need the years of practice or the years of learning that most of you would seem to need in order to perform some of these tasks. The prodigy can do it immediately, you see. Now, do we have questions at this point? No? Good. Okay, we will continue then. We had a couple of questions put to us about memory and dementia. And so we would like to address those questions at this moment. Now, with dementia, one moment. Yes. This one has a friend currently going through this, so there's a little bit of blockage, but we will proceed in any event. With dementia, there are various reasons that a soul, an entity, might decide to express itself in terms of dementia. Now, as we have said many, many times, there is never, ever only one reason for any action, and that is true of creation as well. There is never only one reason for any creation. So you might say to yourself, well, why has this person chosen to exhibit or live in dementia, which is so uncomfortable for this person and for all of those around him? And we say to you, well, yes, but there are lessons that are taking place. There is communication that is taking place. There is assistance to others that is taking place. Not only others of yourself, not only if you go into dementia, are you providing information and assistance to other yous, but also to those around you, you see. Dementia in most cases, but not all cases, is a way to separate from the physical gently. You see, a little bit at a time instead of, for example, you have a car accident, wham, your transition happens immediately. With dementia, you begin to explore the other side at a slower rate. You become more familiar with what will be awaiting you when you make that transition final. So that's like one reason, one part of dementia. However, as we have said, it also provides lessons to others. For example, patience, because a person with dementia will be exhibiting behaviors that most people will find frustrating, or it may make them angry or frightened. It may scare them. They may say, oh, what if I become like this in the future? It frightens me. I don't want to be like this. You see, so as they interact with the loved one or the friend or the person that has dementia, they will hopefully begin to understand that this person has not changed to a degree that they would no longer recognize them or want to be with them. Simply their behavior has changed, has become erratic. But if you have love for that person, that doesn't change, you see. But you must learn to practice patience. You must learn to accept that individual in a wider range of understanding. You must learn to accept more of that person. We have said in the past that when you first meet someone, you don't just meet that one person, you meet all of them. You meet all of him, all of their selves, all of their probable selves, their alternate selves, etc. All of those are presented to you at once. And so the feelings that you get, whether you like this person or dislike this person, or feel as if you've known them before, or any of a huge variety of different emotions or feelings you might have, whether you trust them or not. This doesn't come from just that one person. This comes from the totality of their essence, yes, which permeates all of their selves. This, I think, is a good word, essence, because it tells you more about the person than simply what is being presented to you at any given moment, what you are willing to perceive. So with dementia, you must go into the essence of that person. You see, now, again, as to why someone would choose dementia as a way of exhibiting their reality, of perceiving their reality. You see, there are many different reasons. There is this slowing of transition. There is the assisting others, and there is the teaching of different lessons to loved ones. It also has economic ramifications, which we find in many, many activities that the physical people do, are enmeshed with society's financial well-being. So with dementia, you have, hospital visits, which must be paid for. You have doctors, which must be paid for. You have medicines, which must be paid for, and all of the jobs that are created throughout this. If humanity all of a sudden were to no longer have any diseases, any illnesses, anything, if they were in perfect health from the day of birth to the day that they die, what would this do to what you consider to be your society, your culture, your jobs, your finances, your economy? It would all be gone, you see, and a whole new way of existence would have to take place. So consider when you are communicating or in communication with someone who has dementia, that all of these factors are happening at once, all of them. This goes again to what we have often spoken about, being tunnel vision, so to speak, when it comes to humanity versus all that is, versus the vastness of the universe, the vastness of what is happening within you and to you. You know, even your own body, as we have mentioned, is not it's not the same from moment to moment, and it is not totally you. Your body consists of minerals. It consists of bacteria. It consists of cells, and each cell has its own memory, you see, which also contributes to what you consider to be memories. Let us talk for a moment about what is called digital memory. Like you say you are a musician or a typist, or something that requires deftness of parts of the body, such as the fingers or the feet, if you are a runner, say, for example, or the lungs, if you are a runner. All of these things have their own memory, and you may reach a point where you don't even think about what you are doing, right? A musician, for example, when they're playing their instrument, they don't say to themselves, "Oh, now I must play a G chord, and then I must play a C chord in 4/4 time." That was maybe at the beginning when they were first learning, and we will discuss learning and memory as well. But instead, it becomes automatic. Now, how does this happen? Is it the brain? Partially, but mostly it is the cells of the body. The cells have learned this, and so they call it digital memory. You see, you only need to tell the body, I wish to play a certain song, and the digital memory kicks in. The cells know this already, and so they do it without you having to do a play-by-play, without you having to say, play this chord, play that chord. You don't have to do any of that anymore. Now, many of you will say, well, this is learned behavior, learning. And we will say to you, what is learning? Learning is memory. Yes, it is memory. And again, you don't necessarily need to go over and over and over and over and over again to learn something, because you already know it, and you already have access to it through meditation, if you will, or just through understanding that everything is available to you. Everything is available to you. Now, of course, your physical experience would be vastly different if you were to view the world this way, and if you were to act upon this day to day. But since you are here learning to manipulate energy, you don't use that part of yourself to a very large extent. Okay, we pause again for a moment. Are there questions on this particular area that we have been speaking about?
I have a question regarding the person who has dementia, possibly serious dementia, and maybe they're living in a dream world or in the non-physical experience sometimes. Are they very limited then in what you would call creating, because they don't have all the aspects of memory at their fingertips? Their senses are not processing in the same way as ours and creating memories and bringing them back?
Quite the opposite. Quite the opposite. They have more access, more, you see. And because of this, because they have more, limiting themselves to physicality, to physical memories or physical creations, is, we will not say tedious, we are looking for the word, not so relevant. Just as when a child is born, you must teach them certain things. They have so much input coming in. The whole universe is coming into them. And so you must teach them that this is hot, don't touch this. This is object permanence. You need to learn this. Do this, don't do this. When you cry, you will get certain responses. And they learn all of this, you see. But what it is a limiting of what is coming into you, of what is available to you. This is the same in dementia. As they begin to explore outside physical reality, as more and more of them is in other realms, so to speak, in the energetic, you see, the physical is appears to be limiting to them, is not of as much interest. You see, it doesn't hold that grip that it holds for all of you now. If we were to say to you, leave your bodies now, and you were to all go on an out-of-body experience, how long would you stay there? You would not stay there very long, because it is unfamiliar to you. It might be exciting for a while, but it's not how you are used to living your day to day. And this, when one has dementia and one is mostly leaving the body, this is not the same. They want to stay where they have left the body. They don't, like you would want to come back to what is familiar to you. But for the person with dementia, no, they don't necessarily want to come back. They are exploring something new and exciting, and they know that there is so much more available to them energetically than there is if they stay focused in the physical. Does this answer your question?
Yes.
Excellent. Is there another question?
So I did have a question about, and I think you answered the question by saying it is just like a child. So it is like a child. We have to clean up after them. And for the adults with dementia, again, we have to clean up after them. Is there not some way to make that a little easier for the body to remember certain things? Yes, I have to go to the bathroom. Yes, I have to eat. Why do we just forget that kind of stuff uh, as an elderly person or person with dementia?
Right. Dementia is not exclusive to the elderly by any means. Again, the same thing is taking place as the body still has these memories. It is directed in part by the mind. Everything works together. You see, when you say to yourself, oh, I have to go to the restroom, it is not just your mind saying it, and it is not just your body saying it. You are all working in conjunction with each other, you see. So when someone who has dementia, this is a simplification, but we don't know any other way to say it. When that person has primarily or largely left their mind, left the physical, and only a little bit remains, you see, then the cells of the body must take over. And when this happens, there is almost a, well, not primordial exactly, but let us say, for example, you are a dog or a cat or a horse, and you are wild. Yes, you have not been trained, so to speak. You will go to the bathroom when you need to, right? You just go. You don't consider where you are or what the ramifications will be of it. You need to go, you go. You have a bird, it poops wherever, whenever. It doesn't, you line the bottom of the cage because you know that you are not going to be able to say to the bird, let me know when you need to go and I will put you on my finger and take you over to a specific place. Now, some animals you can train. Cats, for example, you can train to use a litter box. Dogs, you can train to scratch at the door when they need to go. But in the wild, if left to their own devices, most animals just go when they need to go because the cells of their body are telling them you need to go. And this is the same with people with dementia, in that the body cells are largely in charge now that energetically the mind has left. Does this help you?
It does. And are there games you can play that will ease or make dementia shorter? Because I understand a body when at a certain point, your first breath is an in breath, your last breath is an out breath, and you excrete everything. Is there a way to make that shorter? Because I have some games that says play this game, 10 minutes a day, and it will keep your dementia away. Is that a thing, really?
No, it's not a thing. Not at all. The games do not create anything for you. You create it. You create it. Now, if you have a super strong belief that this game will help, then play it. It'll help you, but your belief will have to be very, very strong because it's nonsense. Again, you are the creator. You create your own reality. You have heard this for however many years you have been looking at metaphysics, right? And you know this to be true. So anytime you look at an outside source, well, you're creating it, so it's not really an outside source, but again, we must speak to you in terms that we feel will assist you in understanding. So when you create an outside source and you look at that and you say, oh, this is going to help me. It will help you if you believe it will help you. It will help you if this is part of your design of what you are wanting to learn and accomplish in this particular physical reality, in this particular physical incarnation. Otherwise, it's not at all. It's pointless. And sometimes there's a reason for this too, because you will say, I have tried 50 of these games, all telling me they're going to help me, and none of them have helped me. Well, that's a lesson for you, isn't it? It's a lesson that you may want to spread around, or you may want to keep to yourself, or you may want to cogitate more upon that. Why? Why are they not helping me? Well, your belief isn't strong enough. And that's as it should be, we would say, although that's making a value judgment, which we really should not be doing. So the answer to your question is no.
Understood.
Yes. Is there another one before we proceed? Okay. We believe we have covered memory as learning. Yes, everyone understands that memory has a learning element to it, although it is primarily creation. Now, we also want to speak a little bit about structure. What is the structure of memory? And again, there's more than one way to respond to this and to explore it. Now, if you take memory as a structure universally from the point of all that is, then the structure is individual in each individual, you see, because you will structure your memories according to your needs and desires. What is it that will assist you? What is it that will get you closer to whatever your goal in this particular lifetime is? But within each individual, that structure will vary greatly. It will, there are scientists and brain surgeons and whatnot who will say, oh, well, you see, the structure of memory is in the amygdala or in the whatever, it's in some part of the brain, and it fires uh, uh, in certain ways, and the nerves send messages, blah, 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 on and on. And you can go into that if you wish. You can study like a doctor. You can learn about brain waves and brain pathways, which is another thing with learning, where they will say, well, the more you do a certain thing, the more pathways you create in the brain, therefore it becomes automatic. This is a physical side of it, but it's by no means reality. If you're looking at reality the way most of you are wanting to, you are here speaking to someone who is no longer informed, because you are wanting answers to the bigger questions, so to speak. Yeah. If you just wanted answers based purely on the physical, you can do that so many different ways. You have textbooks, you have lectures, you have people you can talk to, you can ask your doctor about it or whatever. But this is not what you are after. Right? We understand this is not what you are after. If it is, then you're in the wrong place, because those are not the answers those like myself are going to give you. However, your memory as individuals is linked to a variety of things. It is linked, first of all, to emotional response. If you have an event that brings up extremely strong emotions in you, your memories will either be stronger around that, or they will disappear because it's too much psychologically for you to handle. Yeah. So it's also linked to your senses. Many of you will know that a certain smell or a certain sound will bring up memories for you. Perhaps the smell of pancakes in the morning will bring up memories of a parent or loved one cooking those pancakes on Sunday morning. So there are sounds, there's music that will bring memories forward. They're linked, you see, emotionally to you. So when you talk about the structure of memory, it's individual in each person according to their emotional desires, their emotional needs, whether they wish to retain these memories. Yes. This one is reminding us of something she has spoken to all of you about before, and that is the bird memory, the memory of shutting the door on a bird, which she believed for many years her brother had done. And then her sister told her, no, it was her. But her emotional attachment to her sister would not allow her to believe that her sister had killed a bird by slamming a door on it. So she gave this memory, she changed it, and she gave it to her brother, you see. And then that contributed to her overall emotional feelings about her brother, which were, and still are, even though he is passed, largely negative in her opinion. So you see, this is something each of you can explore on your own quite easily. If you have living friends or relatives, you can say, oh, do you remember such and such, and see what their memory is and how does it differ from what your memory is. And I believe that you will find in almost every case there are differences, and some of these differences may be small and some of them may be huge, and some of them you will find where a memory is very significant to you, the other person will say, I don't even remember that, or that is not significant to me. Again, because your needs are so different, your desires, the things that you wish to accomplish are different. they're different. Okay. So that is memory structure. Are there questions about memory structures? We feel we have been pretty complete.
I have a question, and I think it's about the structure that would relate to addiction. For example, I used to smoke, I stopped smoking, but there's always a path in my brain, and I choose not to put attention on that path, and so I am able to manage. But giving power to certain memories, how does it work in terms of an addiction? That pathway will, I believe, will always be with me if I want to activate it.
Yes, because you believe it. Because you believe it. But again, addiction is not a physical thing, regardless of what your scientists and doctors tell you. Addiction is not physical. It may manifest itself physically, but it is because of your belief systems that people have addictions. And because these addictions provide something for them. Tobacco, this one you see loves tobacco as well. And for a particular person, tobacco may represent a calming effect to them. And so when they think about being addicted to tobacco, they get a pleasant feeling, physically, I guess, dopamine goes into the body. Or it may be, oh my God, this is awful. We have this addiction. Nobody likes us. No one will come to our home because it smells of smoke. We spend way too much money on it. When I think about it, we become anxious and nervous and blah, blah, blah. Okay, these are all connected to, if you will, memories, to creations that you have made and that you are pulling forward when you are thinking about a particular thing. Heroin, coffee even, which many people are addicted to, if you want to term it that way. So when it comes to your particular addiction of smoking, we would say to you, there is fear. We can feel the fear in you surrounding this. And we tell you, you don't need to be afraid. You don't. You can dispense with this addiction at any point in time, or you can embrace it and it will do you no harm, as long as you believe that it will do you no harm. There are those who lived well into their 90s and 100s, and they were smokers their whole lives, you see, but they didn't believe that it affected them. When the doctors would say, oh, this is so bad for you, they would go, no, it's not. And so they never had the ramifications. This one is trying to pull up a name. There was one in particular, we believe George Burns is the name, that heavily smoked cigars well into his 90s and never had any issue or problem with it whatsoever. So again, it is creation. It is your creation. We would suggest that you explore the memories that you have around smoking, even write them down if you need to, or speak them to someone who might understand, such as someone in the 12-step program, who you can explore these associations with. See what associations your tobacco addiction has, and then you can begin to deal with them or dispense with them or embrace them if you wish to be even more addicted, more anxious, more. We do not understand why you would, but maybe you would. Some people do. It is not a physical, we will just say simply, it is not a physical addiction. It is a mental addiction. Does this help you?
Yes, yes.
Excellent. Okay. Who is watching the time? We are not watching the time. How are we doing?
It's been about 40 minutes or so.
Oh, excellent. Okay, then next we will talk about another topic that has been questioned, and that is memory at transition and memory after transition. Now, one moment, please. This one needs. When you are transitioning, and let us say you have not experienced dementia or anything like that. It is just your time. It's time for you to make your transition. Maybe you're ill in the hospital, maybe you're having a car accident. There can be a variety of ways that you make your transition. Well, when you do this, many people have said your life flashes before your eyes. Yes, you've all heard this expression. Yes. You may respond, when we ask you something. Yes. So you have heard this expression, when you transition, your life flashes before your eyes. And this is a sign, a warning that you're about to go. We would say maybe for some people, this may be an experience they have as they are getting ready to say goodbye to all of these memories that they have, because they will not be nearly as important after transition has been made, you see. So it also would serve as a reminder of things you may wish to explore more after you transition. You may go through, oh, this. We would like to explore this to a larger degree. We would like to explore that to a larger degree. Because once you transition, there is so much open to you to do. We had a question about whether once you transition, you can go back and experience physical life again, not be reborn, not be born again, but simply choose to say, oh, boy, my wedding was glorious. I wish to experience that wedding again. Yes, you can do that, but most energies don't. Because this is over and done with, and you are learning new things, you are doing, having new experiences, and you have left the physical, so to speak, behind you for the most part. Now, we have talked before about how when, say, a medium gets a message, or when you get a message from some loved one who has passed on, or maybe not even a loved one, maybe some of you, I don't know this person, why are they talking to me, that is always just a portion of the personality. It is not the entire personality speaking to you. It is only a portion of that personality. The rest of their energy is elsewhere, you see. So you don't, once you are transitioning, you don't necessarily look upon everything that has happened to you. And again, you don't place judgment. You do not place judgment upon it. So if once you have made your transition, you still find that certain connections are strong, or that you wish to experience a connection again, then you can do it. But you will also be exploring the reasons why you are wanting to do this. Again, there is, once you transition, there is so much available to you, so much to learn, so much to explore, so much to absorb, so many energies to come in contact with, that the physical realities, those ties are not particularly strong. Now, if the ties are really strong for your loved ones, for example, say, then you may wish to let a little bit more of yourself back into the physical reality to comfort them. You see, which is frequently what happens with mediums when they receive certain messages. The purpose of those messages generally is to comfort the loved one. But this will not last very long in durational terms because there's too much to do. We have said before, once you transition, you do not stop working, although we do not consider it working, but you still have tasks that you perform. You still have learning that takes place. You never stop learning. You can move from one transitional state to another, to another, to another, and you continue to learn. And this is why we have said in the past, we are not omnipotent. There are things you may ask us that we cannot answer because we also are still learning. And those who encompass us, we do not like the term above. You would say those above you. We would say those that encompass us are also still learning because this is a process that does not end, you see. So once again, once you have made your transition, the memories of your physical life we won't say they would fade because you can call them up at any time, but they become less important. They are not important anymore, you see, because you have done that. Now, there may be aspects of you that are still in the physical that have not yet transitioned, and they may wish to have communication with those loved ones of yours that are still in the physical. And this happens all of the time, you see. So that is another thing to explain, that when someone says, oh, I received a message from my loved one who has passed on, and maybe they did, maybe not. Maybe the message is coming from a portion, a personality, an alternate self of their loved ones. You see, that message could be coming from them. But it is not important. What is important is that the person has gotten the message and is comforted by it. Where the origin is not relevant. Do you see? Yes, no, do you see?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are there questions about that aspect?
Again, I have another question that's sort of linked to the non-physical. In some places I've read about an Akashic record, but it seems from what I'm understanding is that memories are so individual, there's not one record. But what about of history? Or I don't want to say is it written, but can one, when either in the physical or after one is disengaged, can one more easily contact historical memories?
We would say, as always, both yes and no. It pains us to some degree to have to always give you these answers that are not clear. But this is the reality, you see. When you speak of things like the Akashic record or the imprint, when many go into haunted houses, right, they'll say, oh, well, what you're feeling or seeing is an imprint of those who have lived or died here. So when you're looking at these things, once again, they are individual. There are as many Akashic records as there are human beings, animals, insects, whatever. You see, it's not one great Akashic record that holds all of the, that would be impossible, you see, because there are so many histories. There's not one history. There is not. That, again, relies on a durational way of thinking. And that's just not reality. Time is not linear. Therefore, history is not linear. Therefore, there are as many histories as there are people who are exploring those histories. We have talked in the past about war, for example, and telling you, even though it appears to you that there are these variety of wars, there's the World War I, World War II, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. No, it's one war. It's all one war. It is the concept of war being explored in all these different variety of ways. And this is true in history as well. If you were to look at World War I, for example, and you were to look in your history books, it would explain it one way, right? It would say such and such. But if you go 300 years in the future, say, and you open up a book about World War I, it will say something completely different. Who writes these? Textbooks in school are another example of this. You see, whoever has written and approved of the textbook will bend the reality. You will have, for example, certain cultures that are not represented as they should be, or they will be. This one, for example, was shocked to find out what in her words, asshole Columbus was, because in school she had been taught how wonderful he was, how he, went out and explored and he did all these wonderful things for his country. And then to learn that this was not true was crushing. Well, was it true or was it not true? It depends which reality you're focused in. And the same is for history, depending on the purposes for which you are exploring this history. Depending upon which history you are looking at, you will get a variety of answers. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Other questions surrounding this topic?
I do have a question. Is it possible to physically block somebody's memory of an event? So I have a quote unquote friend who went under hypnosis and then realized that, yes, I was in a program called the 20 and Back, where I spent 20 years in the military. And at the 20th year, I was reverted back to 1 hour before I left. And so they didn't remember any of that until they went through hypnosis. And then they were able to be like, oh, I did go here. I did go there. I did do this. But regularly they weren't able to remember that.
So your question is, did somebody outside of themselves
Yes.
block their memory?
Yes.
No. We will say it again and again and again and again. You create your reality. You are responsible for your memories. You are responsible for the actions that you take and the actions that appear to come to you from outside yourself. But they do not come from you outside yourself. They are yours. You create them. You determine whether you're going to believe them or not. Now, we go back again to physicality and ways to explain things physically. Yes, which we have talked about, patterns in the brain, etc. child prodigies, who digital memories, all of this, which is all existent in the physical world. But in the great scheme of things, in the reality of all realities, none of that is important. None of that exists without your creating it and accepting it. Now, you in particular, we have spoken with before about hyperfocus, yes, and yes, this one laughs because he knows we speak the truth, and because when you talk about are there aliens who come to Earth? Are there future people in the future who are us who come back to Earth? Are there whatever? And we say to you, which one do you want to be true? And you say all of them. Then we say, well, yes, then all of them are true, but you will decide which reality you are going to follow. You will decide, along with all the other yous, along with the cells in your body, along with your emotions, along with so many things. It's not as so many wish it were. It's not a simple, I choose this. No, no, that doesn't happen that way. Because you affect and are affected by so much else. You see, now hypnosis, and this one has been under hypnosis twice. And the first time she had no result, and the second time she had renewed memories. Well, were those memories real? Were they created in the moment? Everything is created in the moment, you see. So when you talk about was your brain tampered with so that you couldn't remember certain things, maybe someone physically tampered with your brain, but that has nothing to do with what you do or do not remember. It has nothing to do with what you do or do not create. It is your belief systems that have to do with it. It is your desires that have to do with it, you see? So if you wish to believe that some outside force, and again, there is no such thing as an outside force. We keep repeating this and repeating this, and we keep getting questions about it over and over and over again, which is fine, because we understand how alien a concept this is and how difficult it is for most humans to understand that you create, you see, let us look at religion. And in religion, there is always a great creator, right? Some great creator. And this great creator bestows gifts upon humanity. Well, here is the gift. The gift is you are also a creator. You see, if you were created in the image of God, or whatever you perceive to be God, then if you are in that image, that makes you a creator. You see, that is the gift. That is the image. You can create. You do create every moment of every day. Every part of your existence is created by you.
So,
Not, go ahead.
question. What happened during my colonoscopy? So they gave me something. I don't remember anything, right? I woke up. I still don't remember anything, right? So what is happening in that process?
You are leaving your body temporarily. Is that difficult for you to understand? When you sleep, you go into a different form of perception.
But I was
Go
when
ahead.
I went into the doctor. They gave me some type of medication that facilitated
Yes.
me not remembering, right? So it's possible. I'm thinking in my head that that is possible. They can give you something to make you forget. Long term, maybe not, but that's my thinking. They did give me something, and I didn't remember the process.
If you choose it. We go again, if you choose it. Now, there are people who, even under anesthetics, this one is looking for the word.
That's the word.
Yes. can feel their operation happening. Uh, there's very few. This is not an occurrence that is every day, but there are people that cannot be anesthetized, just as there are people who cannot be hypnotized. Again, because this is your choice. It's your choice. They gave you a drug, and some part of you said to yourself, I don't want to experience this procedure, so I will believe the drug will knock me out. And so it did. We are intrigued by the fact that this bothers you. It's an everyday occurrence.
I don't know that it bothers me. Like again, I'm in going down the rabbit hole. I want to know it all. So you know,
And
why did
someday, in the far, far, far reaches of infinity, you will.
This is a
understood?
But at this point in time, no.
Okay.
this is a problem. There's always been a question about reality creation, and you, when you said, Eve, some part of you, which part of you? I mean, some part of you creates your reality, but which part of you, some other part doesn't? I mean, and this applies to alien abductions. People, I know people who suddenly start to remember something that happened when they were very young, and they can't quite remember it. Every time they start to remember it, they forget it again, but then they remember that their sister also was there. So they call, eventually have their husband say, when I start to remember this, make sure I call my sister and talk to her about this. They do that. Now the two of them are remembering something that happened that they'd both forgotten years and years before. It turns out their mother also was there, and she had the same thing. Her memory was gone of whatever happened one night. But when the three of them got together and they could keep it going, they started to remember. So it's some part of them decided to forget. It's not, you have to make a distinction between some part of you versus you. And consciously, I got cancer. I got lung cancer. I love smoking, and I always believed, oh, smoking's not going to hurt me. Look at all the people, Kurt Vonnegut or John Updike. They smoked until they were 86, heavy smokers, and then they died. But 86, that's pretty good. So I'm not going to worry about it. And then I got diagnosed with lung cancer. My cat died of lung cancer, and did some part of her say, I'm going to die of lung cancer? Or, did some part of me say, I'm going to get lung cancer and recover it? Because consciously, no, I did not want to get lung cancer. So I say it's not quite as simple as you're talking about when you say some part. Now you're breaking us up into little pieces. Some part believes this and some part believes that. Okay? Does this make any
Yes.
sense?
Well, it depends on how you look at it. We say again, when you are exploring this type of thing, you must remember time is not linear. Everything that you look at needs to be looked at with that in mind. Time is not linear. The experiences that you are remembering did not happen years ago. They are happening now. You are creating them now. And when we say a part of you, we say this because, as we have explained before, there is never any one reason, there is never any one of anything. When you look at yourself as a total being, you have mind, body, cells, amoebas inside of you, you have alternate selves, you have just a whole variety of things that make up you. Now, when you have input from so many different sources, who is the decider? You must come to an agreement. And that is another thing we will be talking about if we continue this, is memory as agreement. Because when we say a part of you, we are not dividing you up into little bitty pieces. We are not saying, oh, your brain this or your whatever that, although you do have all of these different parts. But the strongest will take the memory, the strongest emotion, the strongest association you see, will most likely bring that memory forward, for lack of a better term. Again, we find that we have to speak durationally to those of you who live in physical reality.
You're muted.
Hey, Yvonne, can you unmute? I did that by mistake.
There you
I
go.
don't know where we left off, but let me get her back. Okay, she's talking about you are not one thing, right? You are not one person. You are an amalgam. And when you begin to explore memories in durational time, you belie your existence, so to speak. It serves you on a day-to-day basis in physical reality, but it is not real. It is not outside of yourself. It is not that this thing happened outside of myself so many years ago. No, no, no. It is right now. You are creating it right now. You are creating it in agreement with, say, your sister or your mother or whoever, with all of your other selves. And we understand this is difficult considering what your day-to-day is like. But the closer you come to understanding and believing this, your transition will be so much easier. And again, there are many, many reasons for any event. As we have said, it is not simply, I smoke, but I don't believe smoking is bad, so I'll never get lung cancer. It's not that simple. You have to look at all of the ramifications of that, everything that creates that belief in you, you see, and what affects that belief, what inputs you're getting from how many different sources, what does it gain, what do you gain by getting lung cancer? And again, it's not just one thing. You don't just gain sympathy, or you don't, but you contribute to the world in so many, many different ways when you take on something like this. Sometimes you take it on for another person even, so that they don't have to experience it. You experience it for them. That's one reason. And we've covered all of the other reasons when we've talked about a common economy, and when we talked about dementia, right? And we said that, you know, you're teaching lessons to other people as well as getting lessons yourself. So don't oversimplify matters, first of all. And second of all, don't overcomplicate matters. Now, this may seem to be a paradox, saying, well, those things are in opposition to each other, but they really aren't. They really aren't. You need to perhaps meditate on this. All right, now this one is feeling tired. She realizes there is more, but we don't believe she can continue for too much longer. So if you have any final questions, please ask them now.
I am good for now.
And thank you, Yvonne and Eve. Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Indeed.
And we hope to continue with this subject again, because we believe there is much more to be explored. Yes?
Yes.
Always.
Yes.
All right. Then please have a very good evening, and we will talk with you again soon.
Thank
So
you.
long.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you.
Well, that was intense. That
All right.
felt intense. Was it intense?
Not quite.
She
Let
was
me stop
passionate.
the recording. Let me stop the recording real quick.